WION continues to bring you all the latest on the Afghan talks. The opening session of the historic intra-Afghan peace talks have ended today. Afghanistan's government and representatives from the Taliban will be holding several meetings in a bid to end nearly 2 decades of war. Abdullah, who is the chairman of the High Council for National Reconciliation, has said that their aim is peace and that they wish to end the violence through a political settlement.
The legitimate demand of our people and the aim of peace is to end the war and violence through a political settlement. Our people want a system based on the constitution, and they ask for the strengthening of stability of the country because they have suffered enough and experienced the worst in the absence of a functioning system. The current conflict has no winner through war and military means, but there will be no loser if the crisis is resolved through submission to the will of the people.
Mullah Abdul Ghani Baradar, a representative from the Taliban side, said that the talks will pave the ground for Afghanistan to be an independent, united, developed country.
We will pave the ground in Afghanistan, and we want to assure the world that they also pay attention and try for the peace negotiations to be successful and conclusive, and we want that Afghanistan be an independent, united, developed country.
The talks come months after the US signed 2 separate but related deals with the Taliban and the Afghan government in February this year. Both the deals paved the way for both the parties involved in Afghanistan to come together on the negotiating table. Political observers say bringing both the opposing parties together is a major victory for US President Donald Trump on the foreign policy front. Now, US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo thanked all the United States allies for their support in what he called a long struggle to end the war.
The United States will never forget the solidarity of our many allies and partners who have stood with us in the long struggle to end this war. Today, we want to also honor and remember them. Nor will we in the United States ever forget September 11th. We welcome the Taliban commitment not to host international terrorist groups, including al-Qaeda, nor to allow them to use Afghan territory to train, recruit, or to fundraise.
India was also present at the intra-Afghan talk ceremony. India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar stressed on the deep civilizational ties shared between India and Afghanistan. Jaishankar said that India supports an immediate and comprehensive ceasefire and expects that the soil of Afghanistan is not used for any anti-India activities.
Any peace process must be Afghan-led, Afghan-owned and Afghan-controlled. It has to respect national sovereignty and territorial integrity of Afghanistan. It should promote the values of human rights and democracy that can foster development. The interests of the minorities, women, and vulnerable must be ensured. And most important, the issue of violence across the country and its neighborhood has to be effectively addressed. The rising levels of violence cannot be allowed to continue, and like others, we support an immediate, comprehensive ceasefire. Our friendship with Afghanistan is strong and unshakable. We have always been good neighbors and will always be so. Our expectation is that the soil of Afghanistan should never be used for any anti-India activities.